everybody. This is John Sadowski. Welcome to another edition of the Personal Injury Marketing Newsletter. I'm part of Metro Valley Advertising, and today we're talking with Thomas Neel from Multus Medical. Thomas, why don't you go ahead and say hello to everybody?
Again, Thomas with Multus, been with them for the last 4 years as the Chief Business Development Officer. Multus was designed originally to create 3D renderings of MRIs and patented a software to stack up all the cross-sectional images that come out of these MRI scans, making it useful for any layperson to understand what they're seeing. Great for educational purposes and juries, defense adjusters, defense, things like that. Then we started advancing into more of the surgical animations as well. So continuing to develop.
Okay. So when we talk about this in terms of personal injury attorneys, how do you guys cater specifically to that audience?
So they're really the ones that are going to use this from a demonstrative standpoint, increasing the value of cases, speeding up the time it takes to settle the cases, really helping the adjusters justify what they're spending, and or the jury to understand what exactly took place so that they could objectively make a decision on what that case is valued at.
So how does that benefit personal injury attorneys in terms of building a stronger case?
Yeah, they have two goals. One is get max value. The other one is get it done as fast as you can. Both are important. Max value being the most important. So having that objective tool to that is true to the medicine and being able to identify what those injuries are, what the client went through, really gives them an opportunity to show any layperson that what some of these surgical procedures are all about. Gotcha. Certainly the CSI effect is real. Everybody needs to see cool stuff these days.
Of course they do. Any chance you have any examples where you can kind of demonstrate that for everybody here?
Yeah, for sure. I'd love to pull up a couple of videos for you. So these are some of our surgical animations. This particular case was actually not a surgery. This was a series of injections and pain management. So what oftentimes could be discredited as being just a poke, or they really minimize what these injections are. However, not a lot of people know where your facet is, or what a medial branch block is, or radiofrequency ablation is. And so rather than listening to a physician use those big words, we're able to show them exactly what that means. And so we color coded all of the syringes for all the treatment, which was over the course of, I believe, 1.5 years on this particular case. And then at the end, we bring them all back in with the various colors, so you can really see how intrusive something like this can become.
Fascinating. So it's something that not only is easy for the attorney to understand, but it's also very easy for a jury to understand if it goes to trial.
Absolutely. And to that same, it's as valuable showing the defense counsel and having them be able to relay to the carrier that it is something that they're advising that they give more money to get away from going to trial and potentially costing them even more. Wow.
I see when you do that overlay exactly what you mean by that. So
yeah, so any type of surgery or procedure, we're able to animate, as well as the MRIs that we do are in 3D. This one takes just a second to load, but the 3D renderings of the MRIs, we have an interactive viewer that you can now rotate, remove parts. The integrity of the scan remains intact. So even though I'm able to maneuver this, you're really able to keep what the true MRI states. So if I wanted to say take away that vertebrae and take away this top disc here, I can rotate it around, and now I can see what a herniation looks like that's compressing on the spinal cord. If I said broad-based posterior central protrusion, that's something not a lot of people are going to understand. But if they see this picture, you certainly are going to be able to digest what that means.
Wow. Yeah, that's impressive. Okay. Huh. So how do you work with attorneys to make sure that the medical information you're providing is accurate and obviously beneficial to their case?
So with the 3D renderings of the MRIs, we have a physician that signs off on an affirmation of accuracy. So essentially becoming a non-retained expert for the case. They are, uh, you know, useful in all phases of the case that way, and it is important that somebody's signing off on it for foundational purposes. For the surgical animations, we have the expert and or treating physician that will review it and provide any feedback for revisions, which we then complete those revisions so that if it is during deposition or during trial, they can lay the foundation for that animation.
And that animation is created what from the surgical notes of the procedure?
So we use the imaging, which we superimpose into the animation, and then we also use the operative notes, including the specific hardware and instrumentation that's used. We get a photo of the client to make sure where the likeness is similar, and that's also why we want to get it in front of them, is so that they can give us that feedback and making sure that it is accurate.
Yes. Okay. So can you speak a little bit more kind of about that medical expertise within your company, within Multus Medical, and how that benefits the case?
Yeah, so we were founded by a lawyer, but also partners with physicians within the company, and then we hired a certified medical illustrator along with other techs. So we have a variety of experiences, both on the medical and legal side, and we're able to really put that into. It's really the only space we work in is med legal. So we brought in all the right minds and the right people to be able to continue to push and grow and adjust as needed for this particular landscape.
Gotcha. So how do you ensure that the medical information is, both accurate and easy for, a legal audience to understand?
Well, the easy is hopefully the video is easy, but as far as accuracy, like I said, if we have a physician that's reviewing the imaging on the front end, and we have a physician inside physician that's doing the quality control prior to it going out, then it gets in front of the treating physician or the expert. They give their feedback to. So there's a lot of checkpoints along the way to make sure that the accuracy is there.
Sure.
It's one of the most important components. Without accuracy, it wouldn't be admitted.
Right. Okay. So, obviously in today's day and age, privacy is and cybersecurity is a big deal. So how do you make sure that the data is collected, stored, and shared securely?
So everyone in the office goes through the HIPAA compliance training. We all have the certificates. Our portal is a proprietary portal. With everything that we send out is through a secure access link that goes directly to our portal. After with the MRI facilities we work with, we have business associate agreements for HIPAA compliance on sharing information, and we get HIPAA authorizations from all of the law firms that we work with, so that when we do encounter the client's personal information, it is protected, and they know that we're going to treat it right.
Gotcha. Okay. So how are you guys leveraging technology to provide better services all the time to the PI world?
Well, we were built on an AI platform with the 3D renderings of the MRIs. That it actually, the AI takes all of those images, stacks them up, creates the 3D rendering while it's overseen by a tech and physician. But a lot of that is generated prior to through the AI. Our founder and CEO is also started a company called Rising Cloud, which is a predictive cloud computing company. And they are really able to scale up, scale down, based on need as opposed to paying a static fee. So we use companies like that to make ourselves more efficient. Our cost then is 80% lower than what it was by using Amazon Web Services. And because of that, we're able to keep our costs extremely low. We wait for payment on our bills rather than charging up front, which is historically what most other companies have done.
Sure. So is this proprietary technology? You guys have partnerships? What do you do to differentiate yourself in the market?
Yeah, our original platform, which we patented, is proprietary. It's only for us, and the other parts of the the animations are done on software that's readily available. And then, from the Rising Cloud standpoint, they are a separate company, but we, certainly recommend people reach out to them for any cloud computing usage. They're saving us a ton of money.
Gotcha. So aside from sort of those upfront cost savings that you provide through your superior technology, is there anything else that makes the litigation process more cost effective by working with you?
By not having to pay for it up front, really, so using the lien-based services, even though it's a case cost, it's great for all size firms. That allows them to not have to come out of pocket and become their client's bank. They're able to use it in earlier phases of the case and more frequently. This is a technology that used to be cost prohibitive or trial only. And we really wanted to disrupt that and make it useful for everyone in all various parts of the case. Even having talked to a defense attorney here, insurance defense attorney, this last week at the conference I was at, they highly recommend receiving them 30 days prior to mediation, so that they can then go back and put it in their notes that these guys are ready for trial and really justify what they're trying to negotiate in that mediation.
Gotcha. So how quickly can you guys provide this necessary medical information for a case?
Our 3D renderings take us about 2 days, 3 days. And then the surgical animations, we've done them in as little as a couple of days, but we typically say about 2 or 3 weeks for the first round. And then any revisions are just a couple of days if the treating physician has something that they want to change.
Gotcha. Okay. And is your team accessible for, consultations or discussions as the case progresses?
Yeah, I'm always accessible. Of course, we also make our animators accessible so that they can talk directly with the physicians or with the attorneys based on what they're looking for in that particular case. I've received phone calls at 9 o'clock at night or text messages, and something needed changed by the next morning just to make sure it could get admitted, and we're always able to make those adjustments.
Super. Do you guys provide any educational resources or training for personal injury attorneys to better understand the medical aspects of these cases?
Certainly our attorney owner is very well versed in a lot of the medicine as well. So he's a huge advocate for other firms and loves to go out and do trainings with them to not just talk about what we're doing, but also how to properly build a case through functional capacity evaluations, impairment ratings. You're really digging into more of the attorney side of what we're doing. I am not an attorney, so I typically try not to train them too much. But sure. Education, yes, we have to tell them, when and how to use this sometimes, and what when the foundation could be established, and how to go about doing that. And really, it's just a re-education more than anything, because the mindset having been that these other companies have charged so much over the years, and we're no longer that same cost prohibitive entity.
Gotcha. So what steps do you take to establish and maintain a successful relationship with the law firms you work with?
We do a lot of conferences. We go to a lot of the Trial Lawyers Association events, both the state conventions, the national conventions, really making sure that they all have someone to call. We're very easy to work with. We have timely responses. You have somebody or everyone's cell phone number. That way, as things come up, whether you be in court, need a change, or, just looking to get started, we're happy to make someone available at all the time. We partner with some of the case management softwares like Clio, CasePeer, where we have integrated into their platform so that they can simply click a button in their workflow to send us the case information. We have Gladiate coming on board to do that as well. And we're one of the only preferred vendors for Justice HQ, which is a membership group of attorneys, about 225, I believe now, mainly throughout California, but throughout the country. And really gives us access to a lot of great people, but we are able to then also use some of their relationships and educational tools to get the word out to the rest of their membership.
Gotcha. So how do you envision, a long-term collaboration between, you guys and a personal injury firm?
Well, everything's on a case by case basis, so hopefully we're doing a good job and they keep coming back. Yeah, that's the ticket is give them good service, give them a good product, keep the price reasonable, and you'll have clients for life. So far we've had a great track record of return business, and we hope to continue that.
Super. So what are your clients saying about Multus Medical and this 3D imaging product?
It's so great to be a part of some of these events. Many of them are using them as their presentation for these conferences as they're out educating other lawyers. The comments that we get on our Google reviews, 5-star Google reviews, are all glowing recommendations of both our customer service, our speed, the cost being reasonable, but the effectiveness of it is really there. So it's not just about a cheap product. It's about how well does this product work and getting me more money for this case. And we hit all those metrics. And so far we've hit them really well. We've got a $51 million verdict with well, we didn't get a 51 million. We were a part of a case that got 51 million.
Sure.
Happy to support that. 21 million, dozens and dozens of 7- and 8-figure cases over the last several months.
Oh, super. Okay. Anything else that you want to say in closing about Multus?
Silly not to use it. everyone should try it once. If it doesn't work, try it again just to make sure you didn't like it the first time.
You go. Okay, super. And I will make sure I spread the word as well, because it sounds like a phenomenal product. Thank you for your time today, and look forward to speaking with you again more in the future.
Excellent. Thanks, John. I appreciate your time. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks. You bet. Bye-bye.
See you, bud.